Greetings and bienvenue, Midnight Crew. Thank you for returning to this broadcast, and welcome to new viewers joining us for the first time. If you like a video, then feel free to subscribe.
Okay, here's mine. Be me, 20 years old. Live in the forest because Dad is a forester. House is about 7 kilometers away from the next village. House is a timber-framed farmyard with 3 buildings and additionally old. I've read 1732 somewhere carved in. Neighbor has his house 2 kilometers far afield. Cabin is made out of wood and skew as hell. It has 3 rooms, 1 little carpenter's workshop, the main room we get high in, and a little extra room for I don't know what, which you can enter through a door in the main room. Cabin was unused for centuries, but 3 days of excessive cleaning, and the job was done. Random evening in October. Friend and me had a sleepover last night, and now we wait for another friend to come. We sit on my bed, playing Worms for Mayhem. Leave window open to hear friend's car. Suddenly, noise from outside. Break. Like enough to point my egghead out the window and look what's up. No lights outside but the lamp in the shag we left on for our friend to see where he steps in the dark. It's nearly pitch black, but the windows of the shag. Almost every leaf has fallen to the ground and I can see the front of the shag. Friend's head appears beside me, curious if our pal already arrived. See, the door of the shag is opened by someone. Has nearly the same size and hairstyle as our friend. Person walks inside, but leaves door open, just as our friend. Okay, let's go, anon. Grab our booze and jolt outside the house and towards the open door of the shag that sends light on the small beaten path that lays between house and cabin. Enter the main room. Nobody is in here. Eventually our friend squats in the little extra room trying to fuck with our short nerves. Everyone in our group is super into games like this. Friend goes out to place a golden bar of water. I sat down, still monitoring the door that leads to the extra room. Friend comes back and tells me, "There's no car, man." We noped in sync outside the shag and grabbed the biggest branches we can find / wheeled. Slowly head back in, our pants fizzed to their limits. After some time we got our balls grow back, and we opened the door with a roar and a little help of my foot. Again, nobody's in there. After a while we hear brakes from outside and footsteps that find their way to the now closed door. Door opens. It's our friend. Ask him if he saw someone around on the street or if he'd seen a car. He answers with no and no. What the fuck did we just see? Month before last. Me, sitting on a bale of straw on the meadow behind our house, looking upon my house, forest in my back, watching boars. Start to get a little darker. Jump from the bale. Start to walk back to my house. Hear noise behind me. Turn around. See shadow on forest's edge. 50 centimeters in height, I tell you by sight. Could be a boar. Better walk away slowly. Shadow starts to move. Seems to turn around in a 270 degrees twist and head into the forest. I can't tell you for sure it did this 270 degrees twist, but I swear to my body and all what's sacred for me. It starts to get larger with every step, just as someone standing up after crouching down. The second before it disappears between the leaves, it has the same height as me, maybe higher, and it has 2 big white stripes on its back. I totally noped the 200 meters back to my house in nearly half a minute. What's weirder? A human-like creature that lives near your house, or a human being that set his camp near your house and is monitoring you when you're outside.
I don't know how gun laws really are in Germany, but I'd sure as hell be armed in your situation. I would probably go on little recon hikes, in groups of at least 5, to make sure there's no psycho dude living off the land just outside your property line.
I own a baseball bat. How I got this is another strange story. Up to 10 knives in different lengths, and next month the blacksmith should have finished my short sword. As soon as I can, I'm going to get a handgun. I don't mind any license. I didn't watch all these horror movies without learning from them. If you're not armed like you want to invade Poland single-handed, your ass will be beaten up so worse you can collect its pieces from here to the Trans-Siberian tundra. Be me, 18 years old. Visit friend of my dad and his family for a week. Chop wood the whole time. Be the hell of a job. Every evening my hands shudder from the exhaustion. Fuck it. Job is very well paid, and somehow I enjoy it to push my body to its limits of persistence. 20 stems with a length of about 15 meters in 6 days, just to boast. Day before the day of departure. Load old logs from a woodpile on a trailer. Grab a log, see something long and blue through a gap between the logs under. Throw log aside to pull this thing out. Manage to get it out. It's an aluminum baseball bat. The handle is wrapped with blue tape. If you miss a baseball bat, I just found it. Dad's friend comes near to watch it. Boy, I've never seen this shit. Start wondering where it comes from. It wasn't this dirty. Couldn't have lied there for a month. Start wondering who placed it there. Dad's friend phones around the neighborhood if someone missed a bat. No one does. Start wondering why it has been placed there. Friend lives a little bit outside the city on a forest edge. No matter who placed it in that log pile, his ulterior motives couldn't be barely friendly. Ends up me keeping the bat as a present. Picture related. It's the bat from the story.
B26. My dad and me used to fish when I was younger. Mostly trout, walleyes, and perch. Grew up and moved out of state. Dad got back into fishing after watching river monsters, etc. I save up money to take my dad to Japan. He has friends he made there while he was stationed as a military engineer, worked on bridges and roads in the late 70s. Finally have enough money to take him for his birthday. We set off in summer of '09, meet up with Dad's friend and his 2 sons. That night, we are sitting in a small restaurant on the edge of a small lake. Dad's friend starts telling stories about strange sounds in the area, where we intend on fishing the following days. One story he tells is of an old woman who is seen floating around on roads late at night, apparently a legend going as far back as the time of lords and samurai. We head back to his house and prepare for the trip the next day. Head out early in the morning and drive about an hour and a half up mountain area through woods. We get to a small town before making the rest of the trip on foot. My dad and friend lead while I hang back with the 2 sons. The 3 of us joke and talk about American and Japanese women. We get to the spot and set up, start drinking as we wait. First day goes well and sun starts to set. The forest is really isolated except for 1 or 2 boats in the distance. That night, as we sit around the fire, we start to notice everything goes dead silent. This lasts for about 40 minutes. We just sit and listen, climb into tent and knock out. Around 4 in the morning, son number 2 wakes me up, we were in the same tent, and asks if I hear anything. I'm half asleep, but I listen for anything. Not a minute passes when I hear a growling /yelp/cry that wakes me up completely. It was strange because it sounded like it was coming from all directions. We sit awake until daybreak, and Dad's friend says they heard it too. We get our things and move along the lake to where a river feeds in. That night, the 5 of us stay up to fish. Me, my dad, and his friend are near the edge of the water while both sons are watching camp. My dad is the first to point it out, but then I see it. A figure moving along the opposite side of the river/lake. I notice it's moving fast for a person, so I automatically assumed it was some sort of animal until it starts howling in a strange pitch that sounded like wailing. We bolt back to camp and get into tents. From there, we see whatever it is move into the tree line and disappear. The cries sound in the distance for what seemed to be an eternity. At some point, it sounds like there are 2 of those things having kind of a call and response. After a while, we step out and pack up for the next morning. No one sleeps that night. The next day, we turn back and double time it back to the town. We find out from locals that the thing we saw is a ghost of a Yurei that frequents the area. supposedly the spirit of a would-be bride that was killed by bandits while on her way to be wed. The story also goes that her body was thrown in the same river where we stayed.
Be poor, no car money, bike to and from work, cycle through semi-rural areas at midnight 4 days a week. Be doing that. Headlights coming down the road behind me. Know this well in advance because road signs are designed to reflect a ton of light even from far away. Drift to the far edge of the road to give them room to pass. 30 seconds pass. Car still hasn't passed me. 45 seconds. The fuck? Turn around. Car looks like it's just pacing me 30 feet behind. Realize I'm all alone with no phone. Speed up. The car is just still behind me. Remember the advice I read online about suspecting you're being followed. Take 4 right turns, a circle, down farm paths. Car takes them all. They are following me. Come to 4-way intersection of road and 2 farm paths. Daring plan formulated. Turn down the path. As car makes a turn, I slam on brakes and kick my bike frame as hard as I can, turning it around. Peel past the car down the opposite path. Glimpse inside. 5 guys. All look pissed. Car immediately slams on gas hard and starts trying to turn around. Blast down path. Make a bunch of turns and hurl bike into grass and hide. Wait over an hour in the dark. No car. Ride home as fast as I can. Never saw the car again. Today I added 45 minutes to my commute to take the well-lit and traffic-heavy road. Carry a phone and mace.
We had this door which would refuse to close every now and again. Got the hinges changed, had the door and frame checked, etc. Nothing wrong with it at all. Doesn't sound spooky, but when accompanied with other details, it does a bit. Door is to my parents' room. Never had a problem with it, but then my dad passed. Ill from cancer, so decide to keep him at home, and he dies in his own bedroom, surrounded by family. An hour after he passed, we all left the room, and I attempted to close it. It literally wouldn't close. Dad's body is removed the next day. Same problem with closing door, directly after taking out the body, but it's my sister who's yanking at it this time. We'd closed the door fine plenty of times in between his death and body removal. Months go by without it happening again, and all is forgotten. Go back into parents' room one time to pick up a few things I needed. Met with a deep sense of despair. Nope out of there and try to slam the door behind me. It jams. Feel fine once I'm out. Both my mother and sister have reported the exact same thing. Intense feelings of sorrow followed by the door not closing if they attempt to pull it behind them. Also seen a figure in the room in broad daylight on several occasions. Mother has seen the figure more, which is a given as it's her room. Also felt something placed on my shoulder once. Wasn't aggressive or pulling me, etc. It was just there. Figure it's the spirit of our father letting us know he's still there and doesn't want us to shut the door as it's shutting him away from us. We came to that last assumption, given that room is the only place we get the unexplained emotions and experience the odd goings-on. It's strangely comforting at times. Never really believed in spirits, etc., but upon seeing a very human-shaped blur against the wall and feeling the pressure on my shoulder, I kind of do now. Sometimes it's pleasant to know that someone's there. May not be my father, but it means that he could be around somewhere after death. But the sorrow and despair feelings I do believe are from my dad, as that's definitely what emotion he'd have been going through when he knew he was on death's door.
B17. Uncle is letting me stay at his old farm for the weekend. Just outside of this small town, relatively quiet and lonely place. Huge open fields surrounded by woods. There's a grain silo and the barn with a few animals. Chickens, 2 turkeys, a goat, even a peacock somehow. He drives into the city for the weekend to sleep with this girl he's into. Anon, I'm leaving you the place. Just make sure to feed the animals once a day, and if you drink all the beer, pay for it. Kinda winks at me, cooluncle.jpg. Of course, invite friends and some girls over for drinking and country walks. Also GoldenEye. There's me, Eric, Robert, and Jeremy, along with Ellie, Diana, and Jessica. So we start drinking, messing around in the garage. I tell everyone we should go to the barn and get up in the top area. We get up there, bring some food and some more beer, start talking, get in a big circle. Diana sits right next to me. Boner alert.av. Everything's normal at first. We start sharing ghost stories. She starts telling us about La Llorona or whatnot. Crying ghost lady. Mildly spooky, but she has a cute little mouse voice, so it loses atmosphere. Her head kinda falls on my shoulder. There's one of those hanging workman's lamp things lighting up the barn. I don't remember what they're called right now. Everyone's kinda silent, just thinking, sipping at their beer or murmuring. I start to smell this disgusting smell like rotted meat dipped in perfume. It was sick but sweet. I push it off as dead mice or something stupid. I was kind of an idiot at 17, still am kek. Put my arm around Diana, ask if anyone wants more beer, offer to go back to the house to get it, get up, brush myself off and head for the ladder to get down. The ladder is missing. Too annoyed to be scared, turn and ask who messed with the ladder. Everyone looks genuinely mystified at the missing ladder, shrug. Decide it probably fell down and I can't see it. Figure I'll just drop through the hole, brace myself for the drop and put the ladder back up on the way back. I get to the edge of the hole, smell that gross smell again and almost stop, but don't want to look like a coward. Drop my feet through the hole, start to lower myself down when I feel something wet smack against my exposed ankle. Push myself back up so fucking fast with the bitchiest yelp I've ever made or heard, scramble away from the hole. What's up? Probably fucking Robert again, wasn't in the mood. Either the turkeys have super long wet necks now, or there's someone down there that grabbed my leg. Very funny anon.bmp. I'm fucking serious, assholes. I kick my leg out to show them where the guy or whatever touched me. There's this brownish, reddish goop on my ankle. It's sticky and smells like that rotted meat put on display at a department store from before. What is that, Anon? One of the girls asks. I have no idea, so I shake my head. Tell them I'm gonna chill up here for a bit and someone else can head down if they want. Eric gets up to take a look, but is obviously frightened like he should be. That smell is hanging around, thick and cloying. He looks down the hole to the ground level and backs away slowly. That's when we hear it. Who fucked Wish with ladder? Everyone freezes. Ellie is all over Eric now. Everyone's too afraid to move. The voice was flat and slow, like some sort of spurg trying to figure out how to into words. It keeps repeating it, the sound slowly changing over time. We're huddling up together. Everyone's here, so we know it's no one fucking with us, and my uncle doesn't have any neighbors for miles. Who fucked with the ladder? Everyone turns to look at me. That was my fucking voice. What the fuck? Shake my head vigorously and realize the creature was practicing with my voice and is now saying other things in my voice, catching on to speech way more quickly than before. None of us have cell phones because this is the late-ish 90s, so we couldn't really call the cops or anything. We're all just kind of huddled together, trying not to talk, because hearing it say things we have is extremely disconcerting. silently thankful it was stupid enough to remove the ladder. The smell starts to fade slowly, and I figure it's gone by the time the stench is gone. Get balls of steel out of nowhere. Decide we should all drop down and make a break for the house. Everyone sort of agrees. Jeremy and Jess don't want to be left alone, so they end up agreeing. The 8 of us all collect around the hole and take a peek. We don't see anything but some smears of that reddish-brown goop on the floor. Push it to the back of my mind, decide I'll go first, drop down, wave everyone down. We were all sort of uncoordinated and fucked up from what beer we'd had, but thankfully it wasn't much. Everyone's down in a few moments. We grab hands like 5-year-olds and start to walk to the house at a brisk pace, not wanting to draw its attention and not wanting to trample each other like spurgs. We hear this wet smack on the concrete floor of the barn. Fuck this, nope, done. Everyone starts to run, barely holding each other's hands. My hand slips from Diana's for a moment, but a strong, warm hand grabs it again, and no one calls out like they're lost. All 8 of us return to the house. Wait, 8? Me, Eric, Jeremy, Robert, Diana, Ellie, Jessica. That's 7. Everyone seems to realize this and nopes the fuck out, looking at everyone else. There were only 7 of us again. I want to puke when I realize it wasn't Diana's hand I grabbed the second time. But for some reason it didn't follow us into the house. Maybe it wasn't a fan of late 70s decor, I don't know. We scramble through the living room. I stop and grab my uncle's compound bow and a few arrows from the display cabinet for some reason. As if I'm gonna knock an arrow and kill this fucking X-Files motherfucker when I haven't gone hunting in over a year. Everyone piles up into the kitchen. It's raised up and away from the living room and kind of looks out onto it, where the main door is. I sit and watch over the sink, fingers trembling, barely able to hold the $1,000 bow in my hand. Might as well be a paperweight. We hear this wet smacking and thudding against the front door, the screen door shaking as well. It's asking in my voice and others now to be let in, slowly stringing together words from other sentences it heard to make its own. It stops after a while and we start to calm down. I go to find the phone. While I'm doing this, I hear this soft tapping on glass. I freeze and spin around. This jerking, twisting amalgamation of flesh, wearing a mix of all of our faces, is tapping almost politely at the sliding glass door of the patio. I lose my shit and almost go to draw and shoot, but something tells me it can't enter the house without being invited. I inch away slowly. Its eyes are following me up to the kitchen, and it stares at me, just tapping and tapping. We all keep a watch, but it can't really do anything, so it jerks, slithers, shifts away and tries the front door again. It continues into the light of the morning. We all said fuck it the next day. I left the bag of feed open for all the animals, and we drove to Robert's house and camped out in the basement for Saturday and Sunday. My uncle acted pretty weird when I brought it up and moved out 2 months later. We never spoke again. I think he tried to sacrifice me to it.
Be anon, closing manager at a sandwich joint. Have to stay late because someone called in sick or needed to get wicked drunk. Leave at 12 when we close at 10. Just annoyed that it cuts into my video time. Take the highway for once instead of the back roads. The highway follows this curve around a patch of forest. There's noise barrier walls erected along the highway's sides. See something flit in front of my car. I'm going 80 miles per hour, so it seemed impossibly fast. What the fuck did I blink? JPG. Shrug it off, fiddle with stereo a bit, coming up on the end of the curve. There's a section with roadway lamps and an underpass. The sodium vapor street lamps all snap off at the same time. I check the clock. It's 12:11. Not any sort of changeover time for lights to go on or off. Something dark flits in front of my car again, at an angle towards the underpass. Start to slow down, apprehension and dread smothering me. Going probably 45 miles an hour by the time I hit the underpass. All sound seems to stop or be muffled. My car stereo starts to mess up, and the lights on my dashboard start to dim, and my headlights wink off. Immediately, nope out, smash my foot into the pedal as the car starts to die. Get enough speed to roll out of the underpass and put some distance. At the last moment before emerging from the underpass, there was this absolute void of light, darker than normal nighttime. 2 misty golden globes in the center of it. There were no other motorists on the road at this time. Noped out pretty hard.
This didn't happen to me, but it's relevant to me because it happened at my workplace. Bar I work at has 3 floors. Each floor is its own bar, different vibes, music, people, etc. Basement bar, ground floor bar, then upstairs bar. Upstairs bar has another flight of stairs that leads to a mini bar that overlooks the dance floor, also where the bathrooms are. Basement bar is all right, kinda spooky, but only 'cause it's dark and smells bad. Spend most of my time on ground floor bar, most well lit, and has AC and booths. Also, I can see the street, so that helps. Upstairs, bar has a different atmosphere. Even in the morning, the place is black as pitch. Have to use my flashlight to find the switchboard and turn on the very few dim overhead bar lamps. So here's what happened. Girl I work with was at the topmost level, where the bathroom is. She's doing whatever when she turns around and sees some older guy sitting in one of the leather wall-length seats. Politely tells him that she can't legally serve him because it's too early, but he's welcome to stay until that she can. He doesn't say anything, so she just turns around and carries on with what she's doing. A few moments pass, and she turns around again. He's gone. If he had gone down the stairs, she would have heard it. He could have gone into the bathroom, but there are no lights at the top level, so fuck going in there to check. If he had left at any point, she would have seen it. He would have had to cross her path to leave. I still hate going up there. The quiet and dark is the worst. Pick related, that's the exit sign. It doesn't help.
Lived in a small town all my life. Population just under 2,000. Always heard legends of some guy called Thornton. Story goes something like this. Town used to have a lot more people when it was first founded. Thornton was some local farmer with a small area of land. Member of the occult. Kidnapped and killed people in his field. Drank the blood, Christian the bodies. Townspeople found out. Small group lynched him in the woods, that's all true. Kids told this story all the time. People said his ghost haunted the town. Ghost was linked to the tree he was hung from, nicknamed the coughing tree for some reason. Nobody seriously believed in the ghost. Be me, be 16, beginning of summer break, friends and I hanging out. One guy's cousin was visiting for the summer, so she tagged along. She didn't know about Thornton. Friends tell her, really ham it up, make it sound creepy. She's into the stories, wants to see the coughing tree. We've all seen it at some point. Really boring. Just an old tree, an old piece of rope, maybe from the actual noose used for the hanging. Used to be on a branch. After that went missing, the tree is just a lame tree. I offered to take her, hoping for some alone time. I was a desperate virgin. Other friends are into the idea, ruin my chances at getting laid. We head into the woods. It's fairly late, sun's starting to go down by the time we find the tree. It had weird symbols carved into the bark. That's how we found it. Girl reaches out to touch it, looking up at the branches. Rest of us hang back. She stands near it for a while, says nothing. Suddenly starts crying, falls to her knees in front of the tree. She yells something unintelligible. We're all a bit creeped out. Hear a twig snap in the distance. One guy panics, runs. Others stay behind. The one girl keeps sobbing. Her cousin tries to grab her. She bites at him, gets his wrist. He's bleeding now. Steps back, clutching his wrist. She keeps crying. We're all rather frightened. Some kids start leaving, down to just me, the girl, and her cousin. She quiets down, still crying, still touching the tree. Shrieks at us if we get closer. Strange man comes by at some point. Seems normal enough, but something off about him. He talks to the girl, calms her down. She steps away from the tree. He touches the tree and keeps talking. Says some stuff about Thornton not deserving it, claims to be a descendant of him. I didn't believe it. The one friend does, and asks about it. The stranger says he was raised to honor his great whatever grandfather and what he did. Stranger says something about the girl being like him, says the tree spoke to her, says Thornton chose her. I'm nervous now. Sun's nearly down. Stranger offers to help the girl. Says there's a place she can be safe, says there's others like her. Asks her to help honor Thornton. She seems like she's willing, seems a bit out of it. Friend and I hold her back. Stranger invites us to come too. Try to turn him down politely. We tell him we have to go, our parents will worry, he follows us. We stupidly decide to run. He chases us, yelling something about Thornton and the tree. We get to town after a while. He's still running and yelling, I'm sore, my heart is dying, I was pretty out of shape. We're running down the streets. It's dark, but not too late. By this time, we're not really running. Too tired, girl still resisting. Stranger slows down too, tries to calmly reason with us. Somebody must have seen and called the cops. Thank God. Cop car pulls up beside us. We stop. The stranger stops. One cop gets out, tries to talk to the stranger. Stranger doesn't hold back. Threatens to kill the cop. Stranger punches the cop. Cop tases stranger, gets him into the car. We walk off. Rather shaken. Hear rumors circulating about the incident. Never hear anything official about the stranger. Never learn what his problem was. And I never got in with the girl.
I hope that you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. If you enjoyed tonight's story, then please subscribe to the channel as more Greentext will appear daily. A new broadcast will appear when the clock strikes midnight Central Time.